Hello, see you again with Brainfactor channel. This time we will discuss about Black Panther's fun facts. Watch the video carefully and don't skip this video. And please help subscribe and like our channel. Thank you. Black Panther's fun facts. In the Marvel comics and movies, Black Panther possesses a wide variety of incredible abilities, including superhuman strength, speed, and agility. But how do their accomplishments stack up in comparison to those of real Black Panthers? The first time audiences saw Chadwick Boseman in the role of Black Panther was in the film Captain America: Civil War, which was released in 2016. Boseman wore a panther suit that was fitted to him perfectly and was adorned with pointy ears and a spiked metal collar. In the critically acclaimed film Black Panther from 2018, King T'Challa made his return wearing an improved version of his supersuit. This time, he wore a sleek black outfit with a dual chevron chest design, intricate weaving, and gleaming metal claws peeking out at the hands and feet. Vibranium, a fictional element that is nearly indestructible and can absorb and convert kinetic energy into power, has been woven into the fabric of the suit. If the trailers for the sequel are to be believed, after Boseman's death in the year 2020, the mantle of Black Panther will be passed on to a new wearer in the film Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, possibly to a female Black Panther. In the Marvel Universe, the majority of Black Panther's superhuman abilities are derived from a Wakandan plant native to the country, but the designers of the character drew inspiration from the animal that shares his name. The Black Panther has all the abilities of a giant jungle cat, the character's creator, Stan Lee, said in an interview in 2005. He moves with the same stealth and power, and he can climb trees and so forth, Lee added. He wears a black outfit that conceals his identity. We reached out to two professionals in the field of big cats in order to get more information about the elusive and powerful panther in preparation for the premiere of the highly anticipated film on November 11th. Jaguars and leopards are the true ancestors of Black Panthers. The Black Panther is a fictitious character, in the same way that the superhero is. The word Black Panther does not relate to a particular species of large cat, rather, it is a slang term that is used to refer to leopards and jaguars, Panthera onca, that have dark coats, Panthera pardus. The creatures are melanistic, which means that their fur is darkly pigmented. More specifically, they either have a black coat or big clusters of black spots set against a background of dark fur. The word panther originates from the genus Panthera, which includes modern species such as jaguars and leopards in addition to lions and tigers. These animals are categorized together in the genus Panthera because of the similarities in the structure of their skulls. According to Byron Weckworth, Director of Conservation Genetics at Panthera, an organization dedicated to the preservation of wildcats and their habitats, the melanistic trait is inherited and is caused by recessive alleles in leopards but is caused by dominant alleles in jaguars. Even though the amount of melanin present in the blood of jaguars and leopards born to the same mother can differ, melanistic jaguars and leopards are extremely uncommon. According to Weckworth, approximately estimated that about 10% of cats are of the black color morph across both species, jaguars and leopards, and this is all owing to diverse environmental stresses and natural selection. Cats can be found on 3 different continents in their natural habitat. The fictitious country of Wakanda is located in Africa, the same continent that is home to several melanistic leopards. T'Challa is a native of Wakanda. However, black leopards are also prevalent in Asia. In Asia, as in Africa, they are found primarily in dark, dense, and moist jungle habitats. Some examples of these types of environments include the mountain ranges of Africa and the tropical forests of South and Southeast Asia. Melanistic jaguars, on the other hand, are more likely to be found in moist lowlands, savannas, and rainforests in Central and South America, such as around the Amazon River basin. Claws of Black Panthers can be retracted when not in use. The retractable vibranium claws that are linked to the tips of the Black Panther's suit's fingers serve as the hero's primary method of attack and subduing foes. These claws are one of the most famous aspects of the Black Panther's supersuit, which also includes other important features. The retractable claws have been compared to switchblades by Craig Sappho, a curator of large predators at the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute. He also mentioned that each finger of a jaguar's or leopard's paw has a claw attached to it by a ligament. When the claw is dragged back, this is caused by the ligament being pulled back. The capacity of the claws to retract guarantees that they are always protected. If the claws were out all the time, they would either become dull or they may break. According to Sappho, it's incredibly critical for jaguars and leopards to be able to grasp and hold and also incapacitate the prey that they're chasing, and this is exactly what they can do when they have this ability. They wouldn't be able to keep a grip on their prey, they wouldn't be able to grasp as much, and they wouldn't be able to climb trees if their claws didn't retract. Panthers in general are excellent swimmers. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever portrays Namor, the king of an underwater country, as a significant antagonist. If the hero of the sequel is forced to enter the sea, you can have peace of mind knowing that leopards and jaguars are excellent swimmers. In contrast to the common house cat, which avoids water at all costs, big cats like jaguars and leopards thrive in moist environments, particularly along rivers. According to Sappho, although both types of cats are capable of swimming, jaguars are more likely to spend time in the water for activities like playing, cooling off, and relaxing. This is because they dwell in habitats that are naturally more humid. According to him, jaguars are particularly well suited to aquatic and semi-aquatic situations. Hence, victims that try to escape into water won't have much success. The nocturnal cats hunt invisibly during the night. Black Panther, a superhero appearing in Marvel Comics, is known for sneaking up on his foes and then defeating them. During the hunting process, jaguars and leopards employ a stealthy strategy. According to Weckworth, the nocturnal predator's dark fur acts as a form of camouflage, and the cats employ the shadows of the night to conceal themselves from their prey. Weckworth believes that leopards and jaguars will not travel a great distance in pursuit of their prey since they do not have the stamina to do so. They are going to creep up on it, then have a brief sprint to get it, kill it, and then take it down. The eyesight of black panthers is among the best in the animal kingdom. T'Challa, the protagonist of the first Black Panther film, makes use of the night vision optics built into his suit to locate and eliminate his adversaries after dark. According to Sappho, jaguars and leopards fundamentally take in light in the same way because both species' eyes contain reflective lenses that enable them to do so in an effective manner. Cats have vision that is approximately 6 to 7 times sharper than that of humans throughout the night. Because of their superior eyesight, nocturnal predators are able to locate their prey in environments with very little or no light. The eyes of jaguars and leopards often range from a yellowish gold to a green color, and this coloration is what makes the eyes of melanistic cats stand out more against their dark pigmented hair. They have an extraordinary capacity for detecting odors. Both jaguars and leopards have a keen sense of smell, which is essential to their ability to stay alive in the wild since it allows them to distinguish between friends and foes. The cats show a behavior known as the flamen reaction, in which they expose their front teeth by curling their top lip forward and inhaling while maintaining this position for a few seconds. Weckworth explains that this causes the animal's nasal passages to expand, and then they breathe in, which truly maximizes all of the surface area in their snout to absorb all of these chemicals and molecules coming from a scent and increasing that signal for them to digest. According to Weckworth, the flamen reaction enables jaguars and leopards to take stock of other creatures and identify them based solely on their smell. In a similar vein, one of Black Panther's powers in the Marvel Comics was a superhuman sense of smell, which the hero utilized to track down foes and even detect when individuals were lying. Sometimes, Black Panthers will look for plants to eat. Because of their poor digestive systems, jaguars and leopards are classified as obligate carnivores. This means that they must consume a diet that is primarily composed of meat in order to survive. Even yet, jaguars and leopards will actively seek out and access flora for the aim of obtaining medicinal and therapeutic benefits. According to Sappho, jaguars and leopards don't have Pepto-Bismol, so they go eat some grass or some leaves, and then they vomit, and then they feel better. In terms of the food they consume on a daily basis, jaguars and leopards often hunt small to medium herbivores. These herbivores can range in size depending on the environment, but common examples include antelope, deer, impala, tapir, and birds. Black panthers are known to be tree climbers. Leopards make use of trees to their advantage by climbing them and sleeping there in order to hide and isolate themselves from any threats, as well as to locate and ambush potential prey. Another well-known behavior of leopards is to store their prey in tree hollows. Sappho explains that leopards can climb up a steep tree while carrying an impala with them. Leopards will do it. They are climbing the tree by hooking their claws onto the bark of the tree and utilizing their legs. It's ludicrous, especially when you consider the fact that a leopard can be outweighed by an impala of decent size, which means that the leopard is occasionally hauling more than its own body weight up a tree with its jaws. Jaguars are capable of climbing trees, but this isn't one of their more well-known skills. This is because jaguars are at the top of the food chain in their natural habitats, which means they don't have much competition from other animals. On the other hand, leopards are more likely to have antagonistic encounters with lions or hyenas, which could result in fatalities. The cats have a good running speed. The vibranium suit that Black Panther wears bestows upon him the power of superspeed, which he employs both when pursuing adversaries and when attempting to elude them. Jaguars and leopards are capable of reaching sprinting speeds of approximately 30 to 40 miles per hour, which enables them to successfully hunt swift animals such as impala and antelope. Weckworth refers to jaguars and leopards as the ninjas of the forest because of their stealth, speed, and agility. Jaguars and leopards rely on quick, stealthy moves to catch their prey, and their initial speed is important. They quickly take down animals before they can escape. Leopards and jaguars are the only cats that can climb trees. They are quite territorial, especially black panthers. Both jaguars and leopards have distinctive techniques of denoting their territory, one of which involves raking branches off of trees with their claws. Sappho states, they will definitely use urine to mark their territory, and occasionally they will rub their bodies and the heads along an area to get their scent on everything that they can possibly get their scent on. They will surely use urine to mark their territory. According to Weckworth, these markings communicate to other leopards and jaguars, in addition to other species of animals, that the area has been claimed, and that they should look for a new home elsewhere. However, it is possible for male leopards or jaguars to challenge a resident male for territory. When this happens, the animals will fight until one of them is killed or severely damaged. Whoever comes out on top has a legitimate claim to the land and the resources. The average duration of pregnancy is 3 months. Both female jaguars and leopards are thought to carry their young for approximately 3 months before giving birth to a litter of approximately 2 to 4 pups. The color scheme of the kids can vary based on the appearance of the parents as well as their genetics. Jaguar and leopard mothers are solitary caregivers until their offspring achieve sexual maturity at around 2 years of age, which occurs around the same time for males and females. When females attain sexual maturity, they begin reproducing almost immediately, although men may not begin doing so for some time. According to Weckworth, females will start reproducing earlier than males due to the fact that the male not only has to discover females, but it also has to gain those reproductive privileges away from the rest of the males. Panthers of this species can reach weights of up to 136 kilograms. solitary animals who like to live, hunt, and travel all by themselves. This is true despite the fact that Black Panther was loyal to his family, his fellow Avengers, and his people. They communicate with one another during the mating process as well as while the females are caring for their babies before the cubs reach maturity. According to Sappho, the evidence of their solitary nature is mostly based on scientists' observations of their behavior. Well, that's all for this video about Black Panther's fun facts. If you want something to be corrected, please fill it in the comments column, okay? Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to help subscribe, like and comment, so that we are even more excited to make other interesting videos. Bye.